Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. And I'm delighted to have Katie Blatzer with me. And she's a lead account manager for a company called Collabora. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Tell us a little bit about Collabora. Give us a story, if you will.
Yeah, so we've been around for about 22 years, new to the Houston area, but we are the 7th largest IT services firm in the country. We're the largest minority-owned staffing firm in the country, so that's something that we're very proud of. But new to Houston, we've been here since about January.
Very good. And why Houston?
It's a booming market. I mean, it's a great market to be in with all of the oil and gas companies that are here, all the healthcare companies that are here, and really anything and everything in between. And
you have recently become members of the Houston West Chamber, I guess.
Yes. Very exciting. Thank you.
And I'm a huge fan of those guys. And by the way, their website, hwcoc.org, they're great friends of this program, and we love working with them as well. Talk a little bit about your timing coming into Houston, because as you know, the oil situation has changed dramatically about a year or so ago, and doesn't seem to be improving. In fact, it seems like it's going to continue to have a glut problem, which means a lot of these places are going to be going south, if you will. How does that play in your strategy?
Well, we staff contract positions, contract to hire, as well as permanent positions. So while we're seeing a little bit of dip in the permanent sector, IT departments still need to be staffed in order for all these systems that the entire companies and their external customers use as well. So if they don't have, money for a permanent employee, they'll switch over to the contract side and just hire people on a temporary basis, whether it's a month, 3 months, 6 months. So that's where we're really seeing a lot of success in the Houston market right now.
Is how big of a percentage is your Houston business on the energy sector?
Right now, like I said, we're still pretty new to the Houston area. I would say roughly 70% is in the oil and gas sector.
70%? That's huge.
It is.
Yeah. What other sectors? Healthcare, I assume?
Healthcare, yes. We do some services as well that are related to the oil and gas companies that work on their telecom systems or any of their networks. They do system support if they do oil and gas software as well. So there's a lot of things that you wouldn't really think about, and companies that you really don't even know exist until you get into the nitty-gritty of the industry. Yes.
Are most of the companies that you have as clients here in the Houston area mid-market size, or how large are they?
Mid-market. Collabora, when we were founded, the focus on the businesses that we were targeting were Fortune 500 companies. So we're a top supplier to a majority of the Fortune 500 companies. And since we've come to Houston, it's more of a regional focus. So we're getting to know the Houston businesses, right? So that aren't necessarily have a national presence, but they have everything here in Houston.
Yeah, very good, very good. And so is your role kind of like the CIO or CTO for hire? Is that kind of the role you play, or kind of talk about that?
Right. So I'm in charge of the Houston market. So as a lead account manager, I have 4 account managers under me that I mentor, make sure they're doing the right processes. They know exactly the services that we're selling to our customers. If anything comes up, any problems, I jump in and try and help take care of that. I also manage our recruiters onshore and offshore as well.
Right. And so, yeah, I can see that. Talk a little bit. So you've got altogether, it sounds like you have 5 employees here in the Houston area, or how
I have
many?
7 here
7
in
altogether, right.
8 with me.
Are you in charge of the office here?
I am.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And are you, how are things going in terms of meeting your expectations and, again, being so new?
They're going great. We've had a little bit of a ramp-up time. It's taken a little bit longer than we expected just to get everyone trained up and out in the market. But a lot of my people didn't come from a staffing background, so having to train them up on, IT technologies that they really weren't familiar with, coming from maybe a sales background, that kind of took a little bit longer than expected. But we're up and running now, and we're really excited. We're starting to see some traction and getting set up with more and more accounts every week. So it's been a pretty exciting time.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Very exciting. What is going on in terms of, in terms of your plans for the rest of the year? What kind of efforts are you focusing on? What kind of efforts are you looking at in terms of diversifying yourself in terms of verticals?
So Q3 is typically the biggest time for hiring in any industry within the staffing services. So a lot of people have money left over in the budget that they might have been more conservative using in the beginning of the year, so they're ready to spend so they don't lose it in the next year. So we're really focusing on the companies that we've penetrated in right now, just going more horizontally within those companies instead of trying to break into new companies at the end of the year. We'll refocus that at the beginning of next year.
Yeah, very good. Talking to Katie Blatzer. She, again, is with a company called Collabora, which is in the IT recruitment and staffing field in Houston. How high level of positions are you doing? Are you doing people everything from, low end up to programmers, or, what all are you involved in?
Absolutely. We can do anything from call center, help desk, desktop support, network engineers on the infrastructure side, as well as software developers, QA testers, project managers, business analysts. We don't do too much of the executive search, but if they have a need, we'll try our best to fill it.
Yeah, sounds like you will. Very good stuff, Katie. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Yeah, and again, congratulations on expanding into Houston. We love this town, and we hope you do too.
I do. Born and raised here, so loving it.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks. All right, when we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdatareview.com. While they're, like it on Facebook, follow on Twitter, and this is The Price of Business.